Okay. Who's next? Clayton Massey, who hails from Kentucky.
Hey, Ron.
This time, didn't I, Clayton?
How are you doing?
Oh, I am good. Now, you are a preacher. You're a minister, right?
I am. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you came to me, how long ago now?
2019. I came to you in Nashville, 2019.
Okay. So you came to the boot camp, and when you came to the boot camp, you learned that there's actually more money out there than the amount they were paying you as a minister. What's the most you ever made in 1 year before you?
Before I met Ron Legrand, I made no more ever than $38,000 a year supporting my family.
In your whole life?
In my whole life.
And that only happened 2 times.
Yeah, that was 2 good years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, you're a minister, so there's more reasons for you to do that than money. But on the other hand, we have to live, don't we?
Absolutely.
We have to eat, we have to pay our bills. My brother is also in North Carolina, David Legrand, who's been a minister for longer than I can remember, and he's interim pastor. But he came to me in 1982, and taught him the business. And if he needs money, he goes out and does a deal. Right. If you don't need money, you don't care. Okay, so he's one of those. So you guys are doing deals now. How's your deal flow coming now?
Well, I just went back and looked through my deal flow. I'm using a couple different sources, but right now we're getting about 50 leads a month of motivated.
50?
50, yeah.
50 leads a month. Okay.
And 30 of those roughly are warm or hot. So they're very good. They're warm or hot. They can be converted.
So there's sellers calling you?
Pardon?
So there's sellers calling you?
They are contacting us through either Done For You on our website, going to our website, and then I also run them over to REI Complete. So
okay,
runs to REI for me.
All right, so you're using Jason's drone, Done For You.
Yes.
We met yesterday, and now you're using REI Complete,
yes,
which is now owned by Jeff Chandler.
Yeah.
So are you doing direct mail?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
He sends out a check. It looks pretty authentic.
The one he showed yesterday. He's just starting that for me, by the way. I'm doing a six-piece sequential mailing, and he's starting it. And one of those is that check. He convinced me to use the check. I fought it at first because I didn't like putting a number on a house I haven't even seen. But then it occurred to me, hey, stupid, you've been teaching marketing all your life. It's only about getting the phone to ring.
Matter of fact, the check is so realistic that I had a seller that received the check and decided to go to their attorney with it and see if it was real. Well, it turns out it was my attorney as well.
Oh, no kidding.
He calls me and says, Clayton, is this you? I said, yeah. Well, is it a real check? They're an attorney. They said, is it a real check? I said, no, it's not a real check.
It says it right on it. It's not a real check.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of deal flow you got now, Clayton?
Well, we got, like I say, we got around 50 to 30 motivated ones going on this year. From January to now, we haven't done a whole lot other than we've done 4 good deals. I've got 2 right now that we're about to collect non-refundable option deposits on. I just sold one and made around $70,000 on it, and then we set up another 2 Airbnbs.
You made $70,000 on one house?
One piece of property. Yeah, we bought it last year as a mix. We bought it last year with a mix of wraparound on one piece, and the other was cash. And we turned around and sold it, just cleaned it up, sold it, made around 70 on it. So that was a pretty nice check.
$70,000. You're not forgetting your IRS, are you?
No. Well, they won't forget me, right?
The problem with making money is you got to pay more taxes, But we'll handle that problem. All right. So, do both of you work in the business together?
This is Panzy. Do you work? She works more than I do, probably.
All right. So you both work, but what do each of you do?
I'm the guy on the phone and talking to sellers most of the
Mhm.
time. I like building rapport and making people happy buying their house. And then she takes care of a lot of the contacts with our team, and she's mainly over the Airbnb. So she's a really good communicator when it comes to talking to our team. So I give her that role to do. She does much better than I do.
So you make the closing calls.
Yeah.
And she does everything else.
I do the closing call, get them to the attorney. I close the deal. But when it comes to our team on the inside, from the office and out in the field, she does most communicating for me.
Well, how did you do? Last year was your first year in the business, wasn't it? Or second?
First real year. Let's
Real
put
year.
it that way. Yeah. First real
Yeah.
about getting serious about it.
So how did you do last year?
Well, we went from $38,000 in 2019. Last year we had $700,000 in equity and over $400,000 in cash. So
Golly,
yeah,
that's incredible.
yeah.
I mean, you are a real success story. Going from a minister to 400 in cash.
Yeah.
And if that equity keeps on building and you get the depreciation and the appreciation and the debt pay down and all those goodies,
Yeah.
you've gone from being a minister to being rich in 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so here it's just going to get better.
Yep.
Smarter. It does get easier as you go along, doesn't it?
Yep. It sure does. Yeah. So much easier.
All right. So you named 2 sources where you get leads. Where else do you get leads?
Well, I'll kind of back up. I remember my first lead source was Facebook. My second lead source was homemade bandit sign. The one behind me I bought, but I made my own bandit signs starting out 2019. Couldn't afford to buy leads. So now I have a website, and everything I use channels right to my website. And I'm only using REI Complete and Done For You, other than my organic, how people find me.
So what do you use REI Complete for? Are you mailing to generate leads or to follow up on leads you've already got?
Oh, so REI Print does my mail outs. And so with REI Complete, they have a call center. So they can call that number. The call center takes in a lot of the information and begins to build the lead for me. They grade it, whether it's cold, cool, warm, neutral, warm, or hot. And from there, I take it from there.
All right. I'm a little lost though. Do you have them generating leads by mailing the list?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And in addition, if you get leads and you want to continue mailing them, they do them as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
And so then a seller will call that number that is on that lead, on that mailer, and it goes directly to REI Complete. REI Complete has a call center called the Ninja Team. They begin to build a profile and grade that profile and record the profile so I can actually listen to it. And so from there, I go to REI Complete and I see it on the CRM and I'll work it from there. It works great.
So you're not driving calls to Pat Live?
No, not right now. So it all goes to REI Complete. Yeah.
All right. How much would you say you spend on the average month on generating leads?
Up until this last year, we were spending around 7,000. This last month, about 7,000. Average around 7,000 a month.
Yeah, you didn't start that way though, did you?
Oh, I couldn't afford to. I remember when a mentor told me I needed to spend $150 a lead, and I about croaked. I thought, no way.
I bet you did. Because you never know.
Oh no! Every time the phone would ring, I'd grab it real fast because I didn't want to lose that $150. So.
That's all you can think about. That's $150 call.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got out of that very quickly when you started popping the deals. How long did it take you to get a deal after you got out of class?
I drug my feet really, really bad. My first mentorship, did a lot of traveling. I mean, I can make excuses, but I didn't really get a good deal until after about 8 months after I joined you. But that was my fault. I just afraid of the phone, afraid of failing, afraid of letting people down, just afraid of messing it all up. I was all in, but then again, my emotions were they weren't in like they needed to be.
Yeah, you weren't really all in. You were just at the front door.
I was at the front door, and so when I realized that who cares if I make a mistake or mess it all up, when I realized that, that's all it took. So this is a lifetime journey for me, not just a 6-month program.
Took a while for you to actually absorb the fact that we operate without risk.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. Yeah. Just
I kind of peg you as more of a thinker brain than a reptile brain like me. So am I right, Panzy? You want to analyze everything to death? Huh?
Yes.
yeah. I spent several hours researching you before I joined. And I researched you. I thought I could do this if I'll do it. And so, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good statement. I can do this if I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that people ought to ask themselves, because frankly, anybody can do this. I mean, you're a good example of that. Never done any real estate, but you also made your living talking. That's good. However, I remember when you started
at it, but I've done it. So
I remember when you started.
Hey, by the way, you look good in that shirt today. I'm not
Look nice and black.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah. Shows up really well.
As I was saying, I remember when you started, you weren't all that great on the telephone. In fact, you were a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so afraid of getting on the phone that I actually hired my 13-year-old and my 16-year-old daughter, I believe, to do my calls for me. They hated it more than I did. But
so let me ask you, do you really hate getting on the phone now, or are you kind of gotten used to it?
No, I don't mind at all. I don't mind getting on the phone at all anymore. I just I've learned to build rapport and use your scripts and develop it where it becomes natural for me. Of course, forgive me, I don't do it exactly word for word, but I know the script now, and it's natural.
Okay.
Make friends with them.
You don't have to read it very many times before you don't even need it anymore. You know it. It's dangerous to try to go through that script without it in front. Even today, I need their darn thing sitting right in front of me while I'm talking. They just don't know I got a script, and I wrote the thing, and it's hard for me to remember all those benefits.
Yeah.
So anyway, you mastered the phone by simply having people point out to you what you were doing wrong, and then working on fixing what you were doing wrong. Right? What were you doing wrong?
A lot of and just afraid to ask the real questions, just hesitating and just beating around the bush. So
talking too much.
I'm mad at myself for not doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, talking too much, right?
Too much, yeah.
Most people have that.
Yeah.
Most people talk too much.
Like right now, I'm talking too much right now.
No, I'm just answering my questions. That's all. All right. So do you have a goal for this year for both of you in the way of cash?
Yeah. Well, we have just a rounded goal. We want 2.5 million of cash and equity. So we probably ought to break that down, but we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you got to break that down.
Yeah.
You got to break down how you get to that point as well.
Right.
But I think you're perfectly capable of doing it.
Yeah.
So you know what? Better to shoot for the moon and miss and become a star.
Yeah.
So if you don't make the 2.5 and you only make $1.5 million, you're not going to be sad, are you?
Oh, that would be awful.
Yeah. By the way, do the people you hang around give you grief about what you do?
No, they do not. No, they do not.
So now you can actually be in a position to approach other ministers and help them start making some money.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's happening. Of course, at first it was a secret. I didn't tell everybody, just hesitant there for many reasons. But now I've got ministers calling me and saying, "What are you doing?" So yeah, that's happening quite a bit.
Yeah. I remember my brother telling me when he first started, he had a little trouble getting over the fact that he thought he was taking advantage of people. And then one day he realized, I'm not taking advantage of anybody. I'm helping them get out of whatever they need to get out of.
Right.
And of course, he's absolutely right. We don't do anything illegal, immoral, or unethical. All we do is let people make decisions, and remember, they make us the offers. We don't make them the offers. They make us the offers. So we're serving the public.
Absolutely.
And I often wonder what it would be like without us investors out there.
Well, the house I just bought, the lady would still be sitting in her house with no electricity because a fire took out of all her power. She stepped through the house with no electricity.
Well, that's
I was
good.
the one that came forward with the cash to buy it. So
She's a whole lot better off now, then, isn't she?
absolutely, yeah.
So we are a service to the public, and that's the way you need to look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any questions for them, Nick? Huh? Is that a yes or no? No, we don't have any questions. Okay. All right. How are you still preaching?
I am.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You still passing the collection plate?
No. I never have personally passed the collection plate though. But no.
All right. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys spending some time with us today, and you are a great mentor. People love you. So
We enjoy it. We like
I'm
helping.
glad you're in the flock.
Yeah.
I see you every now and then, showing up to boot camps and so forth.
Yeah.
All right. So
We'll see you in a
thank
month.
you both.
We'll
See
see you in
what?
Jacksonville here in a few weeks.
Oh, will you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See y'all later.
Bye.
God bless.